I am back at my most common venue for week 48 of 260 minutes, the very next night after week 47. It's a back-to-back doubleheader this week. It's a pleasure to be back here at Yuck Yucks Calgary. They have been my most prolific supporters for this entire project, so happy to do one last one here this evening. Tonight I'm on kind of two premises. I think it might be a little bit short on the five, but I kind of like the second premise that I'm doing this evening. I think it has a lot of legs and a lot of room for expansion, which I'll do, assuming of course that these people give it somewhat of an okay. The other day, somebody posted a picture on Facebook, on my timeline, of my doppelganger. Somebody that looks exactly like me. Now, I know when people do that, it's like, yeah, kinda. Like, a lot of people say I look like Seth Rogen. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Once I got, actually, that I looked like Sean the Bachelor. Yes. And I smiled for a month. I was like, yes. Because he is the desire of millions of women. That's fantastic. I'm okay kind of being the desire of millions of women. I'd be okay if millions of women were like, yeah, he'll do. Made me so happy. But this particular photo on Facebook was so close to me, that literally when I saw it, my first thought was, I don't even own a pink scarf. Because this guy had a pink scarf on. It was weirding me out. I called my parents to see if they were keeping a secret from me. I thought I was schizophrenic, leading like a weird double life. Or was that like I just wouldn't have even known that somewhere along there? Because I drink, so it's not unusual for me to see a photo that I don't recognize. But this guy's eyes were clear, so I'm like, damn, he's taking care of himself. I gotta get my shit together. The giveaway, what happened, and I finally figured it out that it wasn't me, was that this guy was using a PC and not a Mac. So, and truly, no matter how drunk I get, no matter how crazy I get, if I'm hit on the head, I will never go back to a PC. That is my thing. That is what I think of PC users, honestly, is that they're waiting for their government subsidy to come in. I'm just like, oh, did you dress yourself today? Who's a big boy? Oh, yeah. Who's a big boy? I also talk to them like puppies, apparently. That's how I do it. Surfing around the internet the other day, I actually found this out. The history of the word hysterical, it actually kind of originates in ancient Greece, and hysteria, it actually only applied to women, which makes sense, because hyster means uterus. Like hysterectomy is the same thing. So in ancient Greek times, the only people that got hysterical were women, and it was actually because their uterus was moving through their body, trying to strangle them. True story. I realized that if you wanted to teach abstinence education in high schools and stuff, just teach them that. Like, I would have gone nowhere near a woman whose uterus is trying to kill her. That is horrifyingly bad. Like, I would have been on purpose celibate instead of just accidentally celibate. The cure for this, actually, what would cure you is that actually you could weigh down the uterus back then, but what weighed it down was man seed. Yeah, so if you were hysterical, you go get a prescription for the seed of a man, apparently. And, which is great, like that's where modern medicine started. Like, you're stressed out, feeling a little crazy, go have sex. Now, I've never actually believed in ancient medicine, but I can't find a flaw in that logic. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. It's very strange. Maybe that's why men are always trying to drive women crazy, just because they think we're going to get a doctor's note for doinking. Oh yeah, you're insane. We should... Oh, okay. Because of this fact, because like man seed would weigh it down, the only women that could testify in court in ancient Greece were whores. They're the ones that, because they would be fine. They're like, they got a heavy uterus, so they're not going to become hysterical. Which means that they had like more rights than other women, whores back then, which means they were like this close to vote. Like if they had started a suffrage movement, I think they would have got it. Because like okay, whores would win because they have secrets. Like they either get the vote or the guys have some explaining to do. It actually got me thinking about the history of the word phallus on the guys' side of it. Like how probably the original meaning of that was just like disappointed. But then I realized that phallus is really close to fallacy, like being wrong. I know that they're spelled very differently, but that's pretty phonetically similar. There's a lot of flaws in this, but if that was true years ago, I'm surprised that the opposite didn't take effect. Like, if fallacy is wrong, I can't believe when you're right, you're not committing a vaginally. So it's like a bedazzling thing. Yeah. You should come and visit and come. He probably won't even tell me. He just ends up all sleepy all of a sudden every time we talk, and I'm like, what's going on, you know? Week 48 of 260 was certainly not bad. Definitely room for improvement, of course. I felt it was just maybe a little slow. More rehearsal would have been helpful on getting to those punchlines. I actually like both sections. I'm surprised the first one worked as well as it did, even though there's a topical reference in there, Sean the Bachelor, which I'm going to have to either change or it's going to have to get rid of. I only look like so many people around there. A couple of things I thought got a good response. I was surprised a couple didn't. I wasn't sure if that was because they weren't great or because the audience was just a little bit smaller. Like, I could hear laughter, but they're a little further away and couldn't really see anything in this crowd. The lights changed here recently, so it's really black up there in the crowd. I think there's some salvageable material, and I'm looking forward to trying most of that again.